In Fulton County, Georgia, a storm is brewing. At the heart of this storm lies the Fulton County District Attorney's Office. Serious questions have been raised about the conduct of prosecutors in this office. Some accuse them of using unethical tactics to win convictions, others say they are more interested in headlines than justice. These are not accusations to be taken lightly. The integrity of our justice system depends on the honesty and fairness of those who enforce the law. When those in power abuse their authority, it erodes public trust and undermines the very foundation of our democracy. This is not just about one case or one prosecutor, it is about a pattern of behavior that has cast a long shadow over the pursuit of justice in Fulton County. From the alleged railroading of rapper Young Thug, to the controversial indictment of former President Donald Trump, the actions of Fulton County prosecutors have drawn scrutiny and sparked outrage. In the following sections we will delve into the specific allegations of misconduct, examine the key players involved, and explore the broader implications of these troubling events. Our goal is not to prejudge or condemn but to shed light on a system that appears to have gone astray. The pursuit of justice demands transparency, accountability, and an unwavering commitment to the truth. It is time for a reckoning in Fulton County. The American justice system is founded on the principle that everyone is innocent until proven guilty. This principle is enshrined in the Constitution and is fundamental to our understanding of fairness and due process. However, in Fulton County there is a growing sense that this principle is being eroded. At the center of this controversy are three figures: District Attorney Fani Willis, Judge Ural Glanville, and Prosecutor Adrienne Love. These individuals hold positions of immense power within the Fulton County justice system. Their decisions have the ability to alter the course of people's lives. Fani Willis has made a name for herself as an aggressive prosecutor, willing to use controversial tactics like the RICO Act to target gangs and organized crime. Her supporters praise her for taking a tough stance on crime, while her critics accuse her of being overzealous and politically motivated. Judge Ural Glanville has faced allegations of bias and misconduct, including accusations of improper communication with prosecutors and witnesses. These allegations have raised serious questions about his ability to preside over cases fairly and impartially. Adrienne Love, a former gang unit prosecutor, has been accused of withholding evidence, making false statements, and engaging in other unethical conduct. Her actions have come under intense scrutiny, with some calling for her to be disbarred. These three individuals are just the tip of the iceberg. Their stories are intertwined with a web of other prosecutors, judges, and law enforcement officials who have played a role in the alleged abuses of power in Fulton County. Understanding their motivations, relationships, and actions is crucial to unraveling the truth behind the accusations. Perhaps no case better illustrates the concerns about the Fulton County District Attorney's Office than the prosecution of rapper Young Thug, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams. Williams, a Grammy-winning artist, was arrested in May 2022 on charges of racketeering and gang activity. The charges stem from a sprawling indictment that accuses Williams and dozens of others of being members of a violent street gang known as Young Slime Life, or YSL. From the outset, Williams's case has been mired in controversy. His lawyers have accused prosecutors of using flimsy evidence, relying on unreliable witnesses, and engaging in prosecutorial misconduct. They argue that Williams is being targeted for his lyrics and his association with alleged gang members, not for any actual crimes he has committed. The prosecution's case against Williams relies heavily on the RICO Act, a law originally designed to combat organized crime. The RICO Act allows prosecutors to charge individuals with crimes committed by others in furtherance of a criminal enterprise. Critics argue that the law is being overused and abused, particularly in cases involving minority defendants. Williams's case has dragged on for months, with jury selection alone taking nearly a year. The trial has been plagued by delays, legal wrangling, and accusations of misconduct by both prosecutors and the judge. The case has become a lightning rod for criticism of the Fulton County justice system, with many observers questioning whether Williams is receiving a fair trial. The prosecution of Young Thug is a microcosm of the larger issues plaguing the Fulton County District Attorney's Office. It raises serious concerns about the use of the RICO Act, the fairness of prosecutorial tactics, and the ability of the justice system to provide a fair trial to all defendants. The RICO Act, passed in 1970, was designed as a powerful tool to dismantle organized crime syndicates. It allows prosecutors to charge individuals not only for their own crimes, but also for the crimes committed by others in furtherance of a criminal enterprise. While initially used to target the mafia and other large-scale criminal organizations, the RICO Act has increasingly been employed in a wider range of cases, including those involving gangs, white-collar crime, and even public corruption. In Fulton County, the RICO Act has become a weapon of choice for prosecutors, particularly District Attorney Fani Willis. Willis has made no secret of her intention to use the RICO Act aggressively to target gangs and other criminal organizations. However, critics argue that her use of the law has gone too far, ensnaring individuals with little or no involvement in criminal activity and leading to excessively long sentences. Beyond the YSL case, there have been other notable instances of alleged misconduct in Fulton County. For example, former Fulton County Commissioner Emma Darnell was accused of misusing public funds for personal expenses. Darnell allegedly used county credit cards for luxury travel and dining, leading to a significant public outcry. Another case involved former Sheriff Richard Love, who was charged with accepting bribes in exchange for favorable treatment of inmates. Love's actions undermined public trust and highlighted the pervasive issues within the county's law enforcement. These cases underscore the broad application of the RICO Act, raising questions about its use in targeting public officials and the potential for overreach. Critics argue that while the RICO Act is a powerful tool, its misuse can lead to significant injustices and the erosion of public trust in the legal system. Section 5, the Trump indictment, a bridge too far. In August 2023, District Attorney Fani Willis made national headlines when she secured a grand jury indictment against former President Donald Trump and 18 others. The indictment stemmed from Willis's investigation into alleged efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election in Georgia. The indictment, which includes 41 counts, accuses Trump and his allies of engaging in a criminal enterprise to pressure state officials, make false statements about election fraud, and interfere with the counting of electoral votes. The indictment relies heavily on the RICO Act, alleging that Trump and his co-conspirators engaged in a pattern of racketeering activity. The indictment of a former president is unprecedented in American history and has sent shockwaves through the political landscape. Trump and his supporters have denounced the indictment as politically motivated and a witch hunt designed to derail his 2024 presidential campaign. They accuse Willis of being a partisan actor who is abusing her power to target Trump for political gain. The Trump indictment has further fueled the debate about the use of the RICO Act in Fulton County. Critics argue that the law is being stretched beyond its intended purpose to target political opponents and silence dissent. They point to the fact that many of the actions cited in the indictment, such as making false statements about election fraud, are protected by the First Amendment. The Trump indictment is likely to be tied up in legal challenges for years to come. It remains to be seen whether Willis will be able to secure convictions against Trump and his co-defendants, or whether the case will ultimately backfire, further eroding public trust in the Fulton County justice system. Fulton County has seen its share of corruption cases over the years. From bribery scandals involving county officials to misuse of public funds, the county's justice system has been under scrutiny. One notable case involved a former county commissioner who was convicted of accepting bribes in exchange for county contracts. This case highlighted the deep-rooted issues within the local government. Another case saw a high-ranking official accused of embezzling funds meant for public projects, further shaking the public's confidence in the county's leadership. Former DA Paul Howard faced multiple allegations of misconduct, including sexual harassment and misuse of public funds. These allegations led to a significant loss of public trust. Another scandal involved a senior prosecutor who was accused of tampering with evidence in several high-profile cases, further tarnishing the reputation of the DA's office. These cases, along with the Trump indictment, paint a troubling picture of a justice system struggling to maintain integrity and public trust. Section 6, Echoes of Injustice, the Atlanta Schools Scandal. The controversies surrounding the Fulton County District Attorney's Office are not new. In 2015, the office, then under the leadership of District Attorney Paul Howard, came under fire for its handling of the Atlanta public schools cheating scandal. The scandal involved allegations of widespread cheating on standardized tests by teachers and administrators in the Atlanta public school system. Prosecutors alleged that educators had altered students' test answers to inflate scores and secure bonuses and other incentives. The scandal rocked the Atlanta community and made national headlines. Howard's office used the RICO Act to prosecute 35 educators, including teachers, principals, and administrators. The educators were accused of participating in a criminal enterprise to inflate test scores. The use of the RICO Act in this case was highly controversial, with critics arguing that it was intended for use against organized crime, not educators accused of cheating on tests. The Atlanta Public Schools cheating scandal exposed deep flaws in the Fulton County justice system. It raised concerns about prosecutorial overreach, the misuse of the RICO Act, and the fairness of the criminal justice system for minority defendants. Many of the educators charged in the scandal were black, and some observers argued that they were treated more harshly than white defendants accused of similar crimes. The Atlanta Public Schools cheating scandal serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of prosecutorial zeal and the misuse of the RICO Act. It is a reminder that the pursuit of justice should never come at the expense of fairness, due process, and the presumption of innocence. Section 7, Glanville and Love Accusations Mount. In addition to the broader concerns about prosecutorial overreach, the Fulton County District Attorney's Office has also been plagued by allegations of misconduct against specific individuals, most notably Judge Ural Glanville and Prosecutor Adrienne Love. Judge Glanville, who presided over the early stages of the Young Thug case, has faced accusations of bias and improper communication with prosecutors. Defense attorneys have accused Glanville of meeting with prosecutors ex parte, meaning without the presence of defense counsel, and of making rulings that favored the prosecution. In one instance, Glanville was accused of having an improper conversation with a key witness for the prosecution. The witness, a jailhouse informant, testified that he had overheard Young Thug making incriminating statements. However, defense attorneys alleged that the witness had fabricated the statements and that Glanville had been aware of the witness's lack of credibility. Adrienne Love, a former gang unit prosecutor who has worked on both the Young Thug and Trump cases, has been accused of a litany of ethical violations. Defense attorneys have accused Love of withholding evidence, making false statements in court, and engaging in other conduct that violated her ethical obligations as a prosecutor. In a high-profile drug trafficking case, Love was accused of failing to disclose evidence that could have been favorable to the defense. She was also accused of making false statements to the court about the strength of the prosecution's case. In another case involving a local businessman, Love was accused of leaking confidential grand jury information to the media. The allegations against Glanville and Love, if true, represent a serious breach of trust in the Fulton County justice system. Judges and prosecutors are entrusted with immense power and responsibility. When they abuse that power or engage in unethical conduct, it undermines the integrity of the entire system. Another notable case involved multiple defendants accused of bribing officials to secure favorable outcomes in their trials. The defendants allegedly paid off judges and prosecutors to dismiss charges or reduce sentences. This scandal rocked the Fulton County justice system and led to several high-profile resignations and convictions. These cases highlight the pervasive issues of corruption and misconduct within the Fulton County justice system. It is imperative that these issues are addressed to restore public trust and ensure justice is served fairly and impartially. Section 8. Justice on Trial, the Need for Reform. The controversies surrounding the Fulton County District Attorney's Office highlight the urgent need for reform in the criminal justice system. From the overuse of the RICO Act to allegations of prosecutorial and judicial misconduct, the system appears to be failing to live up to its promise of equal justice under the law. One area in need of reform is the use of the RICO Act. While the RICO Act can be a valuable tool for combating organized crime, its broad reach and harsh penalties make it susceptible to abuse. Prosecutors should exercise greater restraint in using the RICO Act, reserving it for cases involving clear evidence of a pattern of racketeering activity. Another area in need of reform is prosecutorial accountability. Prosecutors wield immense power, and it is essential that they are held accountable for their actions. This includes ensuring that prosecutors are adequately trained in ethics, and that there are mechanisms in place to investigate and punish prosecutorial misconduct. Judicial accountability is also crucial. Judges must be impartial arbiters of justice, ensuring that all parties receive a fair trial. Mechanisms should be in place to address allegations of judicial bias and misconduct, such as the creation of independent commissions to investigate complaints against judges. Finally, broader criminal justice reforms are needed to address systemic issues that contribute to wrongful convictions and mass incarceration. These reforms include addressing racial disparities in the criminal justice system, ensuring adequate funding for public defenders, and promoting alternatives to incarceration. Section 9. A Call to Action, Restoring Faith in Fulton County. The controversies surrounding the Fulton County District Attorney's Office are a wake-up call. They are a reminder that the pursuit of justice is an ongoing struggle, one that requires constant vigilance and a commitment to reform. It is time for the citizens of Fulton County to demand better from their elected officials and from the justice system as a whole. This includes holding prosecutors and judges accountable for their actions, advocating for reforms to prevent future abuses, and supporting organizations that are working to ensure equal justice for all. The pursuit of justice is a shared responsibility. It is up to all of us to speak out against injustice, to demand accountability from those in power, and to work towards creating a more just and equitable society. The future of Fulton County, and indeed the nation, depends on it. Let us not allow the pursuit of justice to be corrupted by ambition, bias, or a thirst for power. Let us instead strive to create a justice system that is truly blind, one that treats all citizens fairly and equally, regardless of their race, their socio-economic status, or their position in society.